오리진 프로토콜에서는 블록체인 기반으로 탈중앙화된 마켓플레이스를 만들고 있습니다. 미카 알콘 매니저님께서는 풀스택 엔지니어로서 사용자 지향, 어플리케이션, 제품 관리를 담당하고 계시고 매표 관리 소프트웨어 플랫폼인 기술 분야 자력 경영 신생기업 웰 어텐디드를 공동 창업하셨습니다. 네, 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Good morning. My name is Micah. I am the product manager at Origin Protocol, and I am so excited to be here in Korea. This is actually my first time visiting anywhere in Asia, so I want to say thank you so much to Money Today and the K.E.Y platform for having me here. At Origin, we're making it incredibly simple for anyone to build a decentralized marketplace on the blockchain. We believe that by doing this, we can make it possible for buyers and sellers to save billions of dollars of value and also control their own destinies. I'm going to talk today about the future of decentralized marketplaces, but first, we should reflect briefly on the current landscape of centralized marketplace applications. So approximately 20 or 25 years ago, Craigslist and eBay, they changed the way many people buy and sell goods and services by moving classified ads and auctions onto the internet. And then 10 or 15 years after that, companies like Uber and Airbnb, they changed the way, they introduced the sharing economy, and they introduced what we call the fractional usage of assets. Many people refer to these companies as peer-to-peer marketplaces. But it turns out they don't actually enable true peer-to-peer commerce. For example, if I am a traveler and I want to discover and book a vacation home directly with the homeowner, I'm not able to do that. And if I'm a driver and I want to connect directly with people who need transportation, I can't do that without being at the mercy of an increasingly monopolistic central authority, one that collects and silos my data and has complete unilateral control over whether or not I can participate in the network. Origin has a different vision for the future. It's one where buyers and sellers can meet and transact without any intermediaries. And that's possible today thanks to the power of the blockchain. We've made it our mission to enable true peer-to-peer commerce. And we want to do this for buyers and sellers all around the world. But why is this important, and why have so many members of our global community rallied behind this mission? It starts with our philosophy, and it's guided by 4 reasons why you should all care about the future of decentralized marketplaces. And these can be categorized as either financial incentives or initiatives to increase access to goods and services. First, we have the power to reduce or eliminate fees. Many of these centralized marketplaces, they charge commissions of upwards of 20 or 30% or even higher in extreme cases. But on Origin, there are no transaction fees. And that puts money back into the hands of buyers and sellers. We also want to redistribute value from those centralized intermediaries to users of the platform. Think about Uber, for example. They recently announced their IPO. They're going to be valued somewhere near $100 billion. But if you think about when the company first started, they depended on a very small number of drivers to bootstrap the supply side of their network. And if you talk to many of those early adopters today, guess what they're doing? They're actually still driving for Uber, and they're making less money today than they were 10 years ago. They're certainly not going to see some windfall reward after Uber's massive liquidity event. But with the advent of what we call crypto economic incentives, we can actually reward usage of the platform. We can provide financial incentives, not only for buyers and sellers, but also for partners who build marketplaces on Origin's platform. We also want to promote open commerce. Many of those centralized marketplaces, they're heavily regulated or restricted in many cities and countries around the world. In fact, in San Francisco, where Origin is based, Airbnb was recently forced to remove approximately half of its entire listing inventory simply because a new law went into effect. And we've all heard these terrible stories about, say, a driver whose entire livelihood depends on Uber being able to drive for them. And then after receiving one bad review, he is kicked off the platform with no recourse. And then Airbnb has been known to remove accounts with no fair warning or any explanation whatsoever. But here's the important thing to remember. Even well-meaning intermediaries, even good actors, good companies, they can be central points of failure. And that's particularly true if they are mismanaged or at the mercy of overzealous governments that regulate them. And then finally, and perhaps the most important reason to care about the future of decentralized marketplaces, is we have an opportunity to serve the unbanked. There are nearly 2 billion people in the world who are unable to participate in any of those marketplaces. And it's simply because they don't have a bank account. But what they do have is a smartphone and access to cryptocurrency. With the Origin platform, we could see hundreds or thousands of vertical specific marketplaces spring up in developing markets around the world. And I'll also say that at Origin, we are incredibly excited about what Samsung is doing right here in Korea with their Galaxy S10, shipping a smartphone with an Ethereum wallet built right in. This is going to make it so much easier for buyers and sellers on Origin to transact directly with no intermediary. So what exactly is it that we're building that's going to enable true peer-to-peer commerce? Well, it starts with open source protocols. This is a suite of smart contracts and standards for the creation of listings and offers and identity. It's totally impractical for every marketplace developer to reinvent the wheel, to write their own smart contracts. This requires not only learning a new programming language, but also having those smart contracts audited, which is cost prohibitive for the vast majority of marketplace operators. And it's otherwise incredibly dangerous for users if it's not done properly. But we also recognize that building any kind of decentralized application for the blockchain, it's dramatically different for a developer than building a traditional web application or mobile application that can rely on a centralized server and a database. So we've added a second layer of developer tools in the form of easy-to-use JavaScript libraries and a no-code required marketplace creator tool that allows anyone to build a decentralized marketplace on the blockchain in literally minutes. You could do it while I'm standing here today instead of the months or weeks or longer that it can often take. And then at the top of the stack, we're proving the versatility of our own platform by building several user-facing dApps or decentralized applications of our own. And we expect these to soon be just as familiar and easy to use as those centralized applications that we're all accustomed to. And there's one more thing that I want to say about our technology stack, and it's particularly special to me at Origin, which is that all of this code is open source. But it's not just the code that's open. Our entire product development process, our engineering meetings, our sprint planning, all of this is open to the public. We call it public by default. And it means that anyone can participate in what we're doing, and we've benefited from contributions from many members of our global community. We've launched 3 dApps on the Ethereum mainnet, in addition to those that have been created by our partners and by members of our global community using the Marketplace Creator. We started with a generalized dApp, which aggregates all of the listings that are created anywhere across the Origin network. Then we launched Peer Art, which is a decentralized art marketplace that allows artists to sell their works without paying 50% commissions to art galleries. And then most recently, we launched Crypto Merch, which features merchandise from many of your favorite blockchain projects. And of course, there's never a fee paid to Origin when you buy or sell anything on any one of these dApps. We've learned so much in the process of building these, especially how frustrating the user experience can be. And so our focus right now is to remove as much of that friction as possible so that we can incorporate those learnings into our open source code and make it that much easier for our partners to be successful. I actually have a special exclusive announcement that I've been saving for Key Platform 2019. And that is that we're excited to announce the release of our first mobile marketplace application with a fully integrated Ethereum wallet built right in. With Origin Marketplace, you can do everything from creating listings and offers, managing your identity, and even connecting and messaging other users on the Origin network. This is in the Google Play Store and the App Store. So I would invite everyone to download it and buy or sell something and make your first true peer-to-peer transaction on the blockchain. The mobile app is just one of many initiatives that we're undertaking right now to improve this user experience. It's probably no surprise that wallet management is still a significant issue, and solving this one requires kind of a delicate balance of security and usability. We're exploring ways to make it more convenient for users to manage and recover these accounts, but the most important thing is that they not lose their sovereignty. Funding and paying gas on the Ethereum network is an absolutely foreign concept to most users, but it's even an onboarding hurdle for blockchain enthusiasts. You can't create a listing or make an offer or manage your identity without first having Ether in your wallet in order to cover the necessary gas costs to post to the blockchain. So we're actively right now working on what we call meta transactions. It's a proxy contract that allows any of our users to get started without having to first be concerned about having Ether in their wallet. Processing times on the Ethereum mainnet are often as high as 2 or 3 minutes right now. We trust that the Ethereum core team and other amazing projects like Seller Network that you'll hear from later, they're working aggressively to solve this issue. We're focused right now on finding the most compelling use cases for decentralized marketplaces, finding adoption and usage from people who are so motivated to buy and sell that they're willing to go through all of this friction in these early days. And then one last challenge that's a little bit specific to marketplaces is currency volatility. If you're selling something and your price is denominated in ETH or in Bitcoin, you don't actually know what the value of that currency is going to be by the time your transaction settles. So we recently actually completed our first stablecoin integration with MakerDAI. And we also shifted from our listings being priced in ETH to having them priced in fiat currencies that are more familiar to users. And what this means is that from the time that you create a listing and you want to sell something, all the way until when your escrow contract closes and you receive your funds, you don't have to be concerned about currency volatility that entire time. I mentioned earlier that one of the reasons that we should care about enabling true peer-to-peer commerce is the opportunity to redistribute value from those centralized intermediaries to users of the platform. And we just started doing this by launching what we call Origin Rewards, which is a program that allows anyone to earn our ERC20 tokens simply by using one of our dApps. And so I'd invite everyone to visit ogn.dev/rewards and sign up to be a part of the future of decentralized marketplaces. You can have a stake in the future value and success of our network. You can do that by simply verifying an identity, buying and selling something, and referring your friends so they can earn Origin tokens themselves. And we're distributing these tokens in monthly cycles, so we would encourage you to come back on a regular basis and continue to earn more. And then finally, this program is not yet available in all countries, but it is available to our friends here in South Korea. We have over 800 investors around the world who have decided to support us in this mission to enable true peer-to-peer commerce. And that includes Hashed right here in South Korea. We hosted last year our first Korean meetup at the Hashed Lounge, so we are very grateful for their support. And Korea is obviously very important to Origin, and so we recently hired our first full-time regional manager, Mila. She would love for you to join our Korean Telegram group and say hi to Mila today while you're here. Finally, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you, to Money Today and the K.E.Y platform for having me here to share Origin's vision for the future of decentralized marketplaces. Please download our app and join us in our mission to enable true peer-to-peer commerce.
Thank you for your speech, Micah. 오리진 프로토콜의 미카 알콘 매니저님께서 탈중앙화된 마켓플레이스의 미래에 대해서 말씀해 주셨습니다. And I have one question. You mentioned Uber, eBay, and Airbnb, big companies. Can you share some kind of critical ideas that can beat and compete with those big companies?
Yes, thank you. I'll be the first to say that I was an early adopter of Uber and Airbnb. I still use them both today. I actually stayed in an Airbnb my first few days in Korea this week. And back in 2011, I think I first stayed in an Airbnb. Everybody said it's totally crazy to go stay on someone's couch. When you first start taking Uber, the concept was foreign to get in a car with a stranger. But those companies, they did a few things. They provided value. They're arguably cheaper in many cases than the alternative. They provide better service. And what they really did fundamentally was give consumers more choice. That's what we want to do. We want to give consumers the opportunity to save money, to earn being a part of the network, and to use these services, similar services, in countries where they otherwise can't. And then, as I reflect on that now, I realize how privileged I was to be able to use those services long ago. And as I mentioned, there are nearly 2 billion people who are unable to do that, and we want to empower them to control their own destinies.
Thank you for your answers. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.